welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Now, if before we even get started, I know this is going to be a thing. A bunch of you are going to jump in here and say, dude, feminists are not admitting that they were wrong and they're unhappy that men listen to them. And my answer to that would be no shit. Like, of course, they're not going to admit that they're upset or actually bummed out. But the thumbnail here is actually who the article is about. Emily Radajowski says men get emasculated when they're with a strong woman. Now, what's interesting about this story is it's full of conflict, right? She says, oh, men are intimidated by strong women and men don't like strong women. And then she gets with a guy and she's like, well, they're so emasculated. And if you guys have ever been in a fight or a conflict with somebody, right? If you ever get into it with somebody and one of you says something, the other says something, then there's the shoving, and eventually you're going to be throwing fists. Usually that ends up with somebody going to jail. Well, when you're in a conflict with somebody, whether it's dating or otherwise, somebody kind of has to step down. And if women are saying, we're not going to step down, we're strong and empowered and whatever, guys either have two choices. They either walk away or they're the ones that step back because, once it goes physical, we know who's getting in trouble in that case. Well, listen to this story and listen to all the double speak that she has in here because she's a feminist. She wants men to accept strong women, and the only guys that are going to put up with a woman are effeminate men. And then she complains the only guys she meets are effeminate while she's a strong woman. Like you can't have two strong alphas in a pack. Like even in nature, they fight and there's one dominant, the others sulk away or leave the pack or whatever. They say Emily Radajowski hasn't had the best of luck meeting with men. She got a divorce, surprise. And then she dated comedian Pete Davidson, who I did a video on, and I'm like, why are women into this guy? Because he's skinny and he looks kind of frail, but he's funny. Anyway, she says that now she claims on her podcast that many men have become emasculated and can't handle a strong woman. That phrase right there, I want you to remember this phrase for the rest of your days, guys. What it means when it's can't handle a strong woman is she's a bitch. She is unwilling to waver on her views on things. She doesn't want you to be equal. She doesn't want to hear what you have to say. It's shut up. That's really what that is. They can't handle a woman, a strong woman. That's what that means. They can't handle a bitch. And so what guys do that have confidence and have something to offer and are going somewhere with their lives, or they are a strong man, is they say, you know what, I'm not dealing with this, and off they go. And the woman's protection for her own ego is he can't handle a strong woman. Then when they get a weak guy, and I'll read the story here in a second, but I want to get this out so you can hear it as we read the story. Then when they get a weak guy, they're like, men are effeminate and I don't like this. She says, complains about attracting emasculated men after breaking up with Pete Davidson. On her podcast, High Low, Emily spoke to model Olivia Pratt about her romantic life and what men are like on the dating scene. I feel like I attract the worst men, says a woman that probably lives in Hollywood because she's a model and an actress. She admittedly, or you know what, or maybe New York City, because if she's dating Pete Davidson, I think he's out there. Emily finds that many of the men who she ends up dating aren't as masculine as they should be. So she wants them more emotional, but also more masculine. The two don't go together. And again, the masculine guys that want nothing to do with her. I've always felt like I'm a strong woman, but obviously as you get older, you don't really need a man, says Olivia. And you're like, okay, this is what everybody has told me. Men have said, I like independent women. I want someone who doesn't need me. The only men that are saying that are the effeminate, weak men. Strong men say, I don't want some quote-unquote strong woman giving me crap all the time. I don't want the hassle, the combat, the struggle for the alpha reign, the leader in the relationship. You have it. I'm leaving this relationship. So the guys that are willing to put up with this are by nature effeminate men. She says, I feel like a lot of men who truly think they want a strong woman actually don't know how to handle it, and they don't know what it means for their own identity, she continued. The strength and the power is associated with the masculine, and once a woman has that, a man doesn't know what else he has. But I'm like, how about you just be better at expressing your emotions and being there emotionally? That would be great. Do you hear the imbalance of logic here? Do you hear how it's not working out for her? She says strength and power is associated with the masculine, and once a woman is that, a man doesn't know what else he has. You're right. You're exactly right. What is it if a woman's going to be the masculine one in a relationship? A masculine man does not want to be with her. So what do? You get these SJW woke, weak, effeminate men that are like, "Yay, girl, you be stunning and brave and strong, and plus you're a model and a Hollywood actress and pretty and good looking. So yeah, I'll date you." And then she's like, "But this isn't the guy I want. I want the masculine, strong one. He's not dating you. He's not dating you." She says they slowly get emasculated and don't know how to handle their feelings. Okay, and again, right above there, she's like, you need to be better at expressing your emotions and being there emotionally. That is not a natural state for men. That's a woman's state. Men are strong. We're logical. We try to fix problems. We try to navigate problems. Men are kind of, and I've said this before, men are kind of the rock in a woman's ocean. Men need to be strong and stable and reliable and dependable and always there. And then if she wants to go flitting about in the ocean, she knows she can always come back to that rock. And I don't mean that, literally, but I mean it figuratively, that if she wants to go out and, try new experiments, whether it's at work and she wants to go to school, or she's nervous about being a new mom or being a stay-at-home mom or a teacher, that guy's got everything. He's like, I got it covered. But you can't both be the ones that are flittery. And if a woman wants to be that rock, guess what? You have to have the emotional strength to put up with the craziness. And she's saying, I can't. And it's like, okay, then you want a masculine man, but you want him to be effeminate and soft and in touch with his feelings. The two don't go together. She never mentions Pete's name, but the conversation takes place shortly after they broke up. It's safe to say that she's partly speaking about her experience with him. Emily has complained many times before about the patriarchy and toxic masculinity of men. It's ironic that she now is expressing disappointment in the feminization of men, when she herself has supported the idea of women being stronger and adopting more traditionally masculine roles. She's getting closer and closer. Maybe what we actually need is for men and women to return to traditional feminine and masculine roles in order to create more harmony against couples. Now, this comes from Evie Magazine, which is kind of conservative. They kind of have a conservative bent, like TradCon, very traditionalist. But the problem is, that they're always like, oh, men need to step up and men need to do this, and no woman wants a man that's this. And it's like, look, until you guys fix no-fault divorce, until you fix custody laws, no man's going to want to get married. No man's going to want to step up and be the rock when she decides, well, I'm going to go out there and touch 17 other rocks while we're married. But the whole point of this is here we've got a very attractive, beautiful woman that could probably have herself a choice of just about any guy, and she's struggling in dating because the men she's running into or that will date her are not masculine. And the reason why is because she's the masculine one in a relationship. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You cannot have two alphas in a pack. They will fight. They will scrap. One will leave. One will win. One will lose. Something happens, and one of them goes away. Well, if she's going to be the alpha of every relationship she's in, she's only going to either get beta, weaker men that are effeminate, or the masculine men are going to want nothing to do with her. And that's what she's finding out. And more, this is happening to all feminists, all women. They say, oh, I slept with the good-looking guys, the strong, empowered guys, the guys that were popular, the guys that had money, the guys I really wanted to be with. I slept with them in college. Why won't they date me? The problem is they keep sleeping around and goofing around until they get either too old, and those men have more choices, or they want to be the slay queen. I'm in charge. I got this going on. And guys are like, you know what? I don't need this headache. I don't need this stress. I'm really not interested in dating this. And again, I don't think there's too many men. You look at her, and again, she's an attractive woman. I don't know of too many men that would be like, oh, I'll smash and dash. I'll hook up with her. But then when she starts, I'm strong and I'm this and you need to be that. And again, strong woman is code for being a headache. When that comes out, guys are like, nah, I'm good. I'll move on. And the only ones that are left are the beta weak ones.